Namaste, Ram here, your DNA hacker. I hope you're having a beautiful day. It's a beautiful Sunday afternoon here in Miami. And as usual, please subscribe, click the little bell so that you can receive notifications. A thumbs up would help as well to help us start to generate more momentum, to offer higher quality videos, more material to benefit and serve you. I am here to serve 100%. Okay, and of course, check out any link below. There's a lot of useful information there, including the article that I'll be describing behind me on what is eco-wellness and how it is integral and important to be able to enhance your holistic wellness. You want to achieve a state of holistic health and well-being, you must be able to be in tune with nature. And so I'm going to provide some ways in which you can do that and things that you need to be mindful of. Of course, the article on the link below on medium.com provides a lot more information. I suggest you read it because it has a lot of great information. So another thing just before we start, remember if you have not looked into our upcoming retreat here in Miami, our DNA Hackers retreat on the art of stress-free living, you want to check it out. It is limited spaces at a beautiful villa here in Miami and the Art Deco district in Miami. It's going to be an unbelievable experience. You don't want to miss out. I will be sharing exclusive information that I only give in my 66-day program that is called DNA Hacker Secrets. There I will be, in that event, I will be sharing a lot of what I share in that program. So you want to go, attend, de-stress, relax, learn, integrate, and leave with skills that you can take with you so that you can implement in your life and live a stress and disease-free life more than you do now. Eventually, you can get to the point of mastering it, and that is my mission, to teach people how to master the art of living a stress and disease-free life. You can have the life that you deserve, and you can have a heart full of love, joy, and a body full of health and energy and vitality. Okay, so again, what is eco-wellness and how can it help you achieve holistic wellness? So you cannot visualize, or you should not visualize yourself as an object in a world of objects. That you are a separate body with senses, with an ego, with a personality that is separate from everything else. The more separate I feel, the more separate I assume, the more I would be likely to harm some object in the seemingly exterior world. And so there is a connection between the environmental health and your own health. In a previous video and an article that I wrote on medium.com, I talked about how we are a nature-deprived society. And so this disconnect with nature has severely impacted the mental and physical health of humans worldwide. We must reconnect with nature. And in an article that I did previously, talking about the power of nature, I gave some examples on how you could do this. I will be, in my upcoming video, I will be describing this in more detail. I'll give some more ways, additional ways in which you can actually integrate nature into your household. So you want to stay tuned for that. So again, the ecosystem, the environment as a whole, the entire planet's health, which due to our ways of going about our financial structure, our social structure, our craving for more material goods, we have been slowly doing away with every single ecosystem on the planet. The marine ecosystem has been fished to the point of collapse. And estimates are that within the next 2 decades, the marine ecosystem may collapse altogether. Just imagine if right now you were to see humans kill 50% of all land animals and humans. How would that affect you? Would you like that? Probably not. That's exactly what we've done to the marine ecosystem. And deforestation at an unprecedented rate. You must start to become aware of these so that you can actually become an agent for change rather than a source of problem, furthering this problem. And I can promise you that if you take what is here and you start to implement it, and a lot of what I teach that cannot be just taught in one video, that's why I suggest joining one of my retreats or my programs. You can apply on the link below or reach out to me directly. Is if you apply all the things that I learned, you can actually become free from all the burdens of life, from the fear of death, to disease, to stress, to pain and suffering. You can live the life that you deserve, to open the door to all the riches and the potential and creativity that is inherent to all humans. This is possible, and I can teach you how if you are interested. All right, so step number one in this eco-wellness process, so that you can actually integrate that into your life, so that you can have the holistic wellness you deserve, is caring, honoring, and loving the environment. Is this exact same thing as caring, honoring, and loving yourself. So there are advanced practices that I teach more advanced students and clients, where they learn techniques that they are able to experience more than just the body, more than what they experience on their everyday life through their senses, through their nervous system. You can actually experience yourself as part of a greater whole. Your consciousness is right now contracted and limited by the body and the nervous system. You can break free from that, expand beyond that naturally, without the need to recourse to any type of drugs or anything like of that sort. You can learn techniques that allow you to start to gain control and mastery over processes that are right now dormant and hidden. And you can start to discover how those trees behind me are a part of me. You can experience the universe as a whole as really a fabric of your own consciousness. When you do experience that, you no longer treat, again, airplane, you no longer treat yourself as a separate object. You don't see that tree over there in the back as separate from you, but only as an extension of you. You don't see yourself as this body navigating through a world of objects, but as a consciousness that can actually choose consciously to experience itself as more. So just as I see my finger and I don't harm my finger because I recognize it as a part of myself, I can recognize even the smallest ant as a part of me. So we must begin by caring and honoring the environment. So this is integral to your holistic wellness. And of course, what we ultimately want to master is ahimsa, or nonviolence. This is what Gandhi stood for, was ahimsa. And in my upcoming book, Voyage from Human to God, I go into details about ahimsa and all the limbs of yoga. This is the first and the base of everything that yoga stands for. And in reality, it's really the basis of life, because ahimsa, mastery of ahimsa, is true love and manifestation. It is true love and devotion for all forms of life. When you're able to master that and discover this honor, care, and true love for all life, you will start to connect with a greater part of yourself. And healing currents are going to occur as you purify your consciousness by acting through what is natural to you, which is a state of perfect ahimsa. Of course, I could have expression of ahimsa and do a number of other things that are unhealthy. But the thing is that would not be mastery of ahimsa, because a master of ahimsa would not be violent to himself, and therefore would love, care, and honor his or her body, his or her mind, his or her spirit, and feed it the right food, the right information, the right sensory stimuli, company of enlightened ones, would be reading enlightening books, doing all the things, protecting nature, all the things that lead to healing, to nurturing love within us and health. All right, so to do this, step number one is to educate yourself. Learn what's going on in your environment. Climate change is real. You need to understand what's going on if you're not that well versed in it, and learn what you can do. If you do not know, comment below. I will do a video on it, or you can reach out to me, book a coaching session, and we can have a discussion about it, just to offer you love, guidance, and any suggestion, help you may want. So once you learn and educate yourself about environmental issues, you learn how to reduce what's called your ecological footprint. So just imagine that I'm stepping on clay. How firm, how deep is my footprint? How much, in essence, damage am I doing to the ecosystem, to the environment? How much of a burden am I? Just to put it into perspective, if we all live like Americans do, then we would need 3 to 4 Earths to support that type of living. We are living beyond our means. Nature is not an endless resource. We are slowly doing away with the diversity that we need on the planet, that promotes life and well-being and rich soil and so on and so forth, that we are doing away with and that we require for our society to thrive long-term, for other species to thrive long-term. If you have a child or a grandchild, or you're thinking about having children in the future, what world are you leaving your children? We must act now. Governments are not going to make change. It is entrepreneurs, it is the people that make change. You have the power. And I ask you and implore you to start educating yourself and communicate with others. Start seeing how you can reduce, reuse, recycle, do other things that I'm going to mention here. And read the article, because I give a lot of great advice on how to be more sustainable, even if you don't have the money or you can't eat organic or things of that nature. So you can begin by consuming more sustainable environment and using environmentally friendly products. Whether it is the reducing the use of paper, let's say paper towels in the kitchen, by buying actual towels that you dry with, that you can then wash and reuse. We do that at the house. I don't buy regular paper towels that are made from trees. I buy tree-free paper, and if you're interested where you can get that, comment below, send me a message on social media on Rama's Rooted Tree, and I'll be sure to get that to you. And of course, I have nothing to do with that business. You can also use environmentally friendly products for cleaning your dishes, for cleaning your clothes. There's a lot of options now, and the more everybody starts to move towards sustainable, eco-friendly products, the more they will become mainstream. The more we will start doing away with all the things that are harming the planet. You know, I was recently teaching a group of students an aspect of the marine ecosystem and how populations have been decimated because of the shark fin trade industry, where in Asia people are consuming this shark fin soup that has zero healing properties. It doesn't do anything, and yet it is being marketed as doing something, and there is a market for it. Therefore, what are poachers doing? Going out and slaughtering sharks by the millions, an organism, a species that is integral to the health of the marine ecosystem. So why is this important as it relates to this? The more we as a society become educated, the less we buy the products that harm the planet, and therefore the people that produce or endorse these type of behaviors will no longer have a market to offer their products to. And then we have to come up with cleaner, better options. Of course, another thing is reduce or eliminate your consumption of animal products. In the article, I describe why this is. And a lot of my writings and lectures, I talk about this because I think a lot of people are not aware of the fact of how food gets to the supermarket. The enormous quantity of cattle, of pigs, of chickens, etc., that are being bred to support an industry that is destroying this planet. That is one of the biggest sources of greenhouse gases that are causing climate change, that are leading to deforestation. And it is wholly unsustainable, this practice of factory farming. So in good conscience, you cannot endorse, if you're wanting to master ahimsa and really have this holistic health and well-being, a state of holistic wellness. And remember, what I teach is how to live 100% stress and disease-free. You don't achieve that by cutting corners. It is a holistic way in which you do it. And if you do it, and I can teach you how, you will achieve a state that once you achieve it, you will no longer want to go back, because that is your innate state. That is the state you deserve, you crave, even if you don't consciously know it right now. And so, why are these foods shouldn't be a part of your living, or you should reduce them? Because they're leading to environmental degradation. Again, the concept of eco-wellness. We must, in our consciousness, desire well-being for all forms of life and for your planet as a whole. This is your home. Your home is not the house that you go to where you go to sleep, if you're fortunate enough to have a home. Your home is the world. There is a brotherhood of humankind, and the concept of war, of killing, of destroying somebody else's planet for our own country, for our own benefit, just doesn't resonate with me, and it shouldn't resonate with you. You must honor, love, and care your environment and all forms of life, including other cultures. So, animal consumption has consequences that are against ahimsa. They do lead to violence, and they lead to pain and suffering and destruction. One way in which you can help, if you have access to a local farmer's market, support your local farmers. Buy locally. It doesn't have to be shipped from long distances, so it's less taxing in terms of a carbon footprint, leading to trucks having to transport from far away, or boats having to bring it from another country. So eat fresh, local products. There's a study that was done that showed that actually you can save money by going to local farmers markets on the produce that you buy. Look for affordable brands that prioritize sustainability. You don't have to go super high end. You look at a place like Walmart. Yes, Walmart, I mentioned in the article, actually has been moving and promoting eco-wellness, because a lot of companies are being smarter now. They want to go greener. They want to market themselves as sustainable and trying to help the environment, because they know that there's a shift occurring. Do you want to stay behind, or do you want to move ahead into the future? Do you want to be a game changer, or do you want to be a sheep? Are you a shepherd, or are you a sheep? The decision is yours. Are you going to do what's right for you and for the world, or are you going to stagnate and stay behind? I promise you, you won't regret it. And I'm here to help if you need help. Of course, the last point that I want to touch upon is to limit food waste. This is actually not often thought about, but here in the US, we have horrible waste management. And landfills are just getting bigger and bigger. We used to be able to very easily export a lot of the waste to other countries who had better ways, like for example China, to manage their waste. Problem with that is that these countries are starting to decline the imports of these waste, so no longer can the US as easily just dump their trash to somewhere else. We have to come up with a solution now. If you live in the United States, we need to start to become change agents, because the government doesn't necessarily make the changes. Entrepreneurs, we do as people make change. We can force it as we are learning and educating ourselves and doing the changes in our own lives, and then helping do those changes in other people's lives. And something that we don't know is that this mismanagement of waste has a bigger impact than actually food choices. So if you're listening to this and you're like, you know what, I can't go vegetarian or vegan, let's say, right now, or maybe I can try to eat less meat. But one way in which you can actually help is being smarter about waste management. So how do you do that? And before I mention, it's important to note that these landfills, I don't know if you've ever driven by one, but when you drive by one, this is really bad smell because they are a huge source of methane gas production. Methane gas is a worse greenhouse gas than CO2. And so I mentioned in the article some other implications about methane gas and how the factory farming, when I talked about eliminating consumption of animal foods, how this contributes to that. So you want to check that out. So how can you help? Plan your meals in advance. Buy just what you need. So you plan in advance, you buy smarter, you store smarter. I provide a link on medium.com about how to store smarter. It was a great article written by somebody else that talks about how to store foods and what foods should not be stored, that they may actually spoil quicker, like certain fruits and vegetables that may spoil quicker if they are in the fridge. So you want to actually check that out. So again, you can get to the point where you see yourself not as an object in a world of objects, but as a consciousness that is evolving and thriving in a world that is a part of that consciousness. You are a part of a greater world. You are not separate from it. Embrace it, love, care, and honor it. And in the process of doing that, you're going to take a huge step forward in healing yourself. Let's heal the planet. Let's reconnect with nature. That is what we are about at Rama's Rooted Tree. I can teach you how to become stress and disease free and live the life that you deserve. Have a beautiful day. I send you lots of love. Namaste.